Ah, Mistress Zordia, you couldn't have appeared at a better time. You see, while out patrolling the city, I chanced to sight a void scent. Oh, that was me gasping, huh? I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there and, jiggling. Jiggling? Which is why, against my better judgment, I decided to capture it instead. Having traveled to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge of its denizens. If you have a moment, might I trouble you for your opinion of the creature's unusual behavior? It's jiggling. I'm truly grateful. Now if you would follow me, the creature is being held in the Hall of the Radiant Host. Here it is. Oh, is this gonna be a minion? Surprisingly docile. Even when I captured it, there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Even so, it's the nature of void scent. To prey on people for their aether. Perhaps it bides its time, waiting to carry out some manner of scheme. You! I remember you! Yes, you were at Troya! Please, you must help me! What do you need help with? Oh, you do understand me! I understand the mortal tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore! You can help me, yes you can! You can converse with the void scent. Amazing! Could you ask it why it came here? When you and yours stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died. But in time I returned, but I tire of fighting, so I fled using the gate to your world. Having just been reborn, however, my essence hasn't fully bound together yet. And so when I emerged from the gate, I was as several sundered selves. Okay, so we have to find your other parts? Frightening and confused, they scattered. Following their trail led me here, my diminutive size allowing me to remain largely unseen. By the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless. That's why we consumed one another in the first place. Together we were strong. I want you to help me find all of me, so that I can be whole again. What do you intend to do in this world? Why, live here, of course. I've always wanted to. We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. We long to have that life again. We need your help, starting by reuniting us. We won't try to devour anyone, even when we're whole, I swear. You wish to learn more about the Void, yes? There's much we can teach you about those who rule its domains, about their past. Find the others, and they'll tell you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain? So it crossed over to our world to escape conflict, and now searches for the rest of itself? I understand Void Scent are quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact, and I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our search into their world. Very well. If you would be so kind as to search for its kin, I will consult my superiors on how best to deal with them. By that, I take it we have a bargain. Good. I sense 4 others close by. When you find them, you need only point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, you can guide them the rest of the way. I can guide them the rest of the way. What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about the powerful void scent? I was still wanting to see this and that, but I suppose a deal is a deal. Those men over there, soldiers, are they not? We used to have soldiers in our world, too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria. Back from Weaver's Warding, are you? I heard you fought well against the void scent that slipped through. Come now, I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation no matter the cost? Protect our nation? How familiar those words. Where was it that I heard them? Ah, yes, it was the early days of the Contra Memoria. The enemy had conjured a terrible eidolon that laid siege to a fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities, but led by their valiant commander. They fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Memoriate arrived, the commander told them. Needed to hold out no matter the cost. Memoriate did eventually arrive, but not soon enough for the soldiers. Damn. Having struck down the eidolon, the Memoriate and his servants searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead. But just when they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away debris. to find a lone survivor, the garrison commander. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger.
Oh?
Your soldiers are slaughtered to a man! Yet there's barely a scratch on you! What's the meaning of this? The Eidolon was savage but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath fallen debris.
Oh.
Hide? As commander, you had a duty to your men. You were supposed to put their lives before your own. Spare me! My duty was to ensure the fortress stood, and it did. Besides, my death would have achieved nothing. Honor be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that I must live. It isn't my fate to fall here.
Oh, wow.
It isn't your fate, you say?
Oh. Oh! Oh!
Is he merely unconscious? Come, let us bury the soldiers and their commander with them. Fate shall decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. Very well, my lord.
Wow. Okay, well, he didn't kill him. Who is this?
Funeral rites were held later for the fallen, but solemn tears quickly gave way to horrid screams as the body emerged from the earth. The commander. I can't die. I must live, the man is said to have declared. The people thought him a demon, a disheveled horror, muttering curses as he wandered off to regions unknown. Scarmillion.
Oh.
They called him, a name befitting his newfound grisly visage, a name befitting a monster.
Hey, this is cool backstory. He just wanted to protect his nation, but not die in the process.
We thought we buried him deep, but a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're immortal, so I expect you understand that desire. Well, that concludes my tale. I'd best rejoin myself, if you'll excuse me.
The way it's just moving along the ground.
So this is where mortals consume ether, dreading loneliness more than hunger. How very like me. If you don't mind, though, I'd like to observe the mortals a while longer. The food here is simply sublime. Why, I feel stronger with every bite, as if the Murga themselves were granting me their blessing. The food is tasty, that's true enough, but no food is so sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend. Stronger with every bite, every feed.
Why did I choose this voice?
For my part of the bargain, I will tell you about how we voidsent become strong. Simply put, it depends on the quality and quantity of aether we harbor. When the world was consumed by darkness, the heroes known as the Memoriates arose as powerful voidsent. In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary voidsent, like me. There were exceptions, of course. One in particular I'll never forget. Scarmillion. Never had I seen a voidsent so craven. Even when pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey only on those weaker than himself. He subsisted on scant leavings and lived in constant fear and hunger. In the face of danger, a voidsent stronger than himself fleeing was the only option. But a day came when he found his way barred. How pitiful. Such overwhelming aether. Who is this? You fled instead of facing your foe. Why? Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured. So had you enough strength, you would have stood your ground. Very well then.
Golba's just giving power left and right, man.
What's happening? Yes, I feel it. The power swelling within me. Lo, your foe returns.
Devoured.
What have you done to me? I granted you but a sliver of aether. 'Twas with the power you already possessed that you defeated your foe. I possessed such power? Fear had clouded your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself from fear, then join me. You shall have a greater cause to live for and know true power.
And that's how they became friendos.
Curious how, in a world without death, the fear of it could be the key to great strength. The knight recognized this, recognized the void sense potential, and thus did he take him into his service. Determined as he is to live, it wouldn't surprise me if he were still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now, I expect. From all the devouring he would have done since, unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger in ours. Well, I must be going now. The others are waiting. Ah, what a refreshing breeze. I'm to return to the others? Bah, they should come here. Would you look at this beautiful, boundless sky?
There's no sky. This is clouds.
Would you look at this beautiful, boundless sky? Mortals take to the air from here, do they not? Would that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself. But we Voidsent are not wont to roam, you see. The mightiest among us carve out domains, while the rest labor to stay in their good graces. Now, the master of a domain seldom ventures outside, for it is in one's territory that one is strongest. For some, however, such confinement proved trying, as was the case for a certain Voidsent I knew.
Is it Scarmillion again? Oh!
I speak of the free-spirited terror Barbaricia. When she first established her domain, she whiled away the days, waiting for her minions to bring her prey. The aether amassed from these offerings was devoted to the singular pleasure of caring for her silky, flowing locks.
And they were great locks,
But the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realized she was a prisoner in her own domain, and unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen into the depths of despair, when the hand of salvation came to pull her out. At this rate, my precious hair will frazzle and fray. Had I only the strength to leave my domain.
If strength is your desire, that is easily granted.
Golba's just giving out power.
Who are you? So much power surging through me.
What will you do with it? What is it you desire?
What I desire is...
You would move your very domain. Impressive.
That I can do such a thing. What have you done to me?
I granted you aether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible.
How does he have, banks of aether to give out?
My will?
Even so, no matter where you should go, there is naught but darkness. What could your destination possibly be?
Destination? I have no need of such. I wish but to be free like the wind.
Oh, dragon aether. That makes sense, Ray.
In a world that has met its end, rare indeed is the soul who desires freedom so ardently that she could will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight would grant her more power and a place of command in his mighty army. A story worthy of our bargain, I trust. I might have had more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. It seems you mortals also have a fondness for flying. I'd certainly like to try riding one of these airships of yours. But perhaps another time, my other selves will be a blubbering mess if I don't hurry and rejoin them.
Okay, I have to think about... Ah! Aderline!
My other self goes lonely, you say? My apologies, it was my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness, but there's some colorful language.
To hells with your father! You shouldn't need his permission just to leave the god's damned house. Please, mind your language. What would father say if he were to hear you? It's always father this, father that with you. I'm sick of it. You're your own woman now. Bloody act like one for a change. Bruh.
Colorful language, yes. Not from the girl, though.
Oh no, she appears to be quite well bred.
I almost said inbred.
I just hope she's happier than the girl I knew long, long ago.
Oh, she pretty.
That girl was born into a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noble woman and had servants tending to her every need. But in the end, she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage.
Sorry.
Wanting her to be a proper lady, her parents presided over all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to say and do.
She is pretty, though.
Chafing from the fetters of her restrictive life, she solicited her handmaiden's aid and stole outside the manor where she enjoyed a moment of bliss unbeknownst to her parents, or so she thought. It was not long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and windows, denying her even the simple pleasure of an afternoon breeze. Even a bird in a cage may chirp freely, but she wasn't even suffered to give voice to her desires.
Damn. That sucks.
But she wouldn't be deterred, having once tasted sweet freedom.
Oh, that's why she moved. Oh!
She yearned for more, and one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time.
You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come.
If you're expecting your friends, I'm afraid they're not coming. Oh my gosh, this father? Run, I would run. Dude, the lightning.
Father, how did you... What do you mean they're not coming?
I'd known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, but to think that they dare try to consort with my daughter, well, you needn't worry about them anymore. They're food for the fishes now.
He killed her friends. The power of friendship. How could you do this, Father? Why must you torment me so?
Know your place, girl. You are means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you sullying yourself with riffraff. Street rat, scoundrel, take that! Oh. Yeah, this is her villain story. You will not leave your chambers save with my permission, nor will you disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? I said, am I understood? And this is how you're dying.
To hell.
What did you say? Oh, she has an axe. Boy? I would Oh, shiznit. Oh, wow. Oh! Wait, where's there's no blood. There's that, oh! I said go to hell! Ah! Deserved, but also that was very brutal. I like how the previous one, he just ran away. Like, he just wanted to survive. She got her freedom. Where's the mom in all of this? Is the axe in his face? She looks so pleased.
Oh, to think that it could be so exhilarating to speak my mind, to do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I am free. Free as the wind.
The young woman struck out on her own, and in her travels discovered her true calling. Not in the halls of lords and ladies, but on the battlefield.
Dude, that was intense. Like, I can understand why, but yo.
She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty, which belied a terrible savagery. And with this new life, she also claimed a new name, Barbaricia. Indeed, she found her freedom, but did she also find happiness, I wonder? I suppose I'll never know, nor does it matter, for the world that once was is no more. But, goodness me, I'd better rejoin the others.
You found the last void scent. Okay, we return.
Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreement.
More than worthy, I'd say. They told me of Scarmiglian and Barbaricia. More than worthy, I'd say. They told me of...
My other selves lived quite disparate lives, both as mortals and voidsent. Though I suppose it's rather fortuitous that they crossed paths with such powerful voidsent. But more importantly, what they could offer was worthy of our bargain. For that I am glad. All that remains now is for us to rejoin and become whole again. There can be no other explanation. There's still more of me lost out there somewhere. But I don't sense them. Where could they have gone? Should I sense the others nearby? I hope we can count on you to find them too.
Oh, if it isn't Mistress Zordia. Since last we spoke, I have continued keeping an eye on the void scent.
Completely forgot the voices that I gave these characters. It's been 18 days.
While the creatures have given me no reason to believe that they pose a danger, the rest of them remain at large. My fellows and I have yet to come by any eyewitness information, but their forms being what they are, they cannot have gotten far. Of course, it would make our search easier if they were likewise drawn to Razatan.
My other selves have been telling me about their adventures. Truly, your world is a fascinating place.
There's nothing like exploring a new city. Your world is fascinating too.
So you've enjoyed hearing my tales? I'd be glad to share more with you. Once I found the rest of me, that is. The others have more knowledge of the mighty void scent, you see. This sensation, could it be? Yes, I feel them! The rest of myself, they're very close now! There's 4 of them, and unless I'm mistaken, they're somewhere in the city. Please find them for me, that I might be whole again. As before, by way of payment, they will tell you about powerful void scent and their pasts. Now, the nearest appears to be this way. Perhaps that's a good place to start.
The rest of its fellows have appeared in the city. Then you had best track them down. Judging by the direction, I expect the nearest one is in Dharma. I leave the creatures in your capable hands.
I got this. I got this. Let's get together, yeah.
The rest of me are here too? What a relief. I was taking in the sights in the village nearby when I realized I'd become separated. I'm glad I decided to follow the clamor and head to this city. There's so many mortals here, so many beautiful buildings.
Father, what is this building? This, my boy, is the resting place of the great Azdal. Centuries ago, he journeyed here from the mainland and helped to end the war between the Batanga tribes, an act which laid the foundation for the nation of Radzatan. So it was thanks to him that we all get along.
Ah, a tomb. A place for mortals to remember their dead. It calls to mind people from my own past. My mother, who died in the Contra Memoria, and the ones who laid her to rest. Long, long ago, there lived 2 powerful mages. It was said that none could match their might, yet they nevertheless continued to hone their skills at their training ground atop a peak called Mount Ordeals. One day, fell fiends began attacking villages unprovoked. Upon hearing the grim tidings, the mages came to a resolution. Through years of training, we have mastered our flames. 'Tis time for us to employ them for the salvation of the world. So it was that the pair descended the mountain and set about vanquishing the fiends.
I love this music, man.
Just one left. Leave it to me. No, don't.
Uh-oh.
Please don't hurt her. Don't hurt my mother. Your mother. Ah!
Why did you not protect yourself, bro?
Please save her, I beg you. What do I do?
It's gonna kill the girl, isn't it? Is it?
It seems I have no choice.
Why is this animation reminding me of Shadowbringers? Oh?
What? She's turned into a crystal.
Damn, is he dead? Is his brother dead? Why did he protect himself, bro? He got one hit KO'd. Phoenix down. Raise?
I said that I would save the world, but I couldn't save even a single life. My flames were meant to be like the sun. They were meant to protect, to keep warm and light the way. And yet...
Why are you on fire, though? This man is on fire!
In his great fury at his failings, the mage's face turned red as ruby. Thus did the girl choose to call him Rubicante.
Oh, you be Rubicante. Oh.
The mage returned to his mountain where he buried his comrade. Upon the gravestone, he etched the words of admonishment and continued his training alone. One day, when visiting his comrade's grave, he found that a familiar crystal had been left there. Its presence lifted a great weight off his chest. Without words, it told him that the girl was grateful for what he did. That day, he regained something he had lost, and descending the mountain once more, he embarked upon a journey, determined to use his powers for good. As sad as it is to lose a precious life, it's sadder still, I think, to lose one's purpose. Mount Ordeals has been swallowed up by darkness, and his comrade's grave with it. But wherever Rubicante may be, I like to believe that the little girl still remains in his heart. Well, it's past time I rejoined the others. It's nice talking to you, mortal.
So the rest of me are safe? Thank goodness! It was worth risking myself to let the others escape. No sooner had we arrived in this world than we were attacked by fearsome creatures of stone. I drew their attention, and after scrambling hither and yon, managed to get up myself to safety. But to so jealously guard treasure, you mortals must truly be fond of it. Lo, there's another place for storing it right there.
They say it's mountain after mountain of treasure in there. We just need to find the coffers that act as portals. And then survive the guardians and deadly fiends. I don't like our chances with just the three of us. Less of us means a bigger share for each. Exactly. Besides, what's an adventure without a little danger?
You're gonna die. Oh, I just realized that her outfit is Penelo's from Final Fantasy XII.
I'm not really sure about this.
To willingly throw oneself into danger, it's truly a strange immortal quirk. Unlike your kind, we voids are quite risk-averse. For instance, we wouldn't think to challenge a stronger being. Except for him, perhaps. An odd fellow who loved fighting for his own sake.
Who dis?
His name was Kanyazo, and there was nothing he feared in his domain. Employing deception, he trapped his foes and drowned them in a bottomless mire. It mattered not how strong they were, all fell before him. Yet despite his victories, he never felt truly satisfied, and through a chance meeting, he would learn the reason why.
Tell me why? Why? Which blah blah blah. That you should repel my attack. You're tougher than I expected. To whom do you speak? Do I speak? I am Kanyazo, and I'll bet you're the one they say is seeking out the strong. Well, if it's a battle you want, then you need look no further. Lest you misunderstand or do not desire fruitless battle. On the contrary, it would seem that it is you who seek out the strong. Why?
When you're hungry, you devour. Doesn't matter who. Your luck ran out when you strolled into my domain.
None would so risk themselves simply because of an empty stomach. Nay, my friend, the source of your hunger lies elsewhere. Oh? Oh?
And then
he got the power!
What is this aether so pure and sublime? There's so much of it I'm ripe to burst, and yet I still don't feel satisfied.
Do you see? 'Tis not for aether that you thirst, but battle. You'll not quench this thirst with stagnant swamp water. Nay, not save that of a raging torrent will sate you.
What do you mean?
There is no joy to be had in ensnaring your quarry. You're for victory, to have savor. You must place yourself in the midst of danger. If you join me, I shall see to it you never want for dread foes to grant you satisfaction. What say you?
Why do I feel as though I've remembered something important? Whoever you are, I would know more.
And thus did he find a place to belong, upon the fine line that divides the devourer and the devoured. If he could do battle with just one worthy foe, he told himself, he could go to his rest, forever satisfied. From that day forth, Kunyazo tirelessly sought out those who might be able to best him, each time hoping for bliss, but knowing that, like as not, disappointment ultimately awaited. A yearning so strong, nothing else matters. Do you have such a thing driving you too, mortal? Looking back, it was extremely reckless of me to come to this world, but it has been worth every bit of danger and more. Ah, I can't wait to share my experiences with myself. I'll be on my way now. Thanks for coming to find me.
You're welcome. Okay, 2 more.
You've been looking for me, you say? Sorry for the trouble. I found a place with beautiful water and thought I'd have a rollick, but ended up being washed away. I tried to get back upstream, swimming against the flow, and had managed to come this far when you appeared. After all that effort, I'd like nothing more than to reunite with my other selves. But if you've been promised a tale, then you shall have one. Nothing but small fry. See that mortal there? He fished me up, but promptly released me while calling me a hideous slug. I don't know what that was about, but it worked out well enough. Oh, to be out in the open sea and catch something big. But until I can afford a halfway decent rod, I'll just have to put up with this tired old fishing hole. I know the feeling well. A desire to chase after big fish. Used to be a fisherman too, you see, together with my brother.
You had a brother?
But the Contra Memoria wreaked havoc on the ocean's aether, and nary any fish remained to be caught. Each morning we would wake up not knowing whether we'd have food to fill our bellies. On a day like so many before, we were waiting in vain for a bite. My brother's face was fixed in a grimace, and I assumed he was cursing the war in his mind, but it turned out he was thinking about something else altogether. And when he finally spoke, the frustration was plain in his voice. Even if there were fish to catch, is this how I'm going to live out my days? Sitting endlessly with a pole in hand? It's like dying a slow death, and I can't take it anymore. More so than our privation, it was a mundane, unchanging nature of our lives that bothered him. In the next instant, he blurted out, "That's it! If there's a war, I'm going to fight too. That way I won't be bored, at least." And just like that, he threw aside his rod and set off, right into the thick of the conflict.
Is actually Hekdai's brother? He just didn't want to be bored.
Damn it! It's over. Who the hells are you?
Do you actually know how to fight? Damn!
Whoever you are, I'm in your debt. Having exhausted my powers, I was all but defeated, but now none remain to oppose me here.
He's gonna turn around and kill this guy next.
Perhaps you would consider serving me. You would be well rewarded, of course. I could grant you riches, castles.
Nah, he just wants to fight. He just doesn't want to be bored. He's gonna turn around and sock you in the face. Anyway.
What's the meaning of this? Weren't you a friend? Friend? I'm just after some excitement, so come on, give it to me.
This is how you're dying.
Here you are, thank heavens. What were you thinking, taking on memoriates with your bare fists? However strong you may be, you're lucky to be alive. Alive. Yes, I've never been so alive. Where are you going? No more chasing small fry for me. From now on, I'm going to live for the thrill of battle. I'll seek out those stronger than me, and I'll give them all a taste of my fist.
Never have I felt so alive as I did, risking life and limb, he said as he strode away, never to return. Sometime afterwards, a rumor reached me of a fearsome warrior. The man would arrive unannounced on a battlefield, trounce anyone and everyone indiscriminately, before disappearing again. Kunyazo. Oh! Kunyazo he was called, and cursed for a feral dog. That was enough for me to know that my brother still lived. It was only when I became a Voidsent that I came to understand my brother, to understand the emptiness he felt in his mundane life. It inspired me to want to break free from my own unchanging existence, and instilled in me a longing for this world. And for all his quirks, he was a good and kind brother,
always looking out for me and helping me with my fishing. Like everyone, he must have turned into a void scent. If he had the chance to come here, I believe he would have found a purpose in life. A proper one.
I sort of killed him. Sorry.
Hehe, thanks to you, I could relive those old memories. And with that, I had best go and join my other selves. Be seeing ya.
What? I'm calling you, you say? I can appreciate my separation anxiety, but I answer to no one, not even myself. I'm my own master and I do what I like, when I like. I will return to the others at my own leisurely pace. Mortals, on the other hand, always seem to be busy at work. Short as your lives are, one would think you'd spend more time on leisure. You're truly strange creatures.
Still burning strong, just like the start of the experiment. By the sisters. But tending the flame is mind-numbing work. Someone has to do it, I suppose. But I just wish it wasn't me.
Tending the flame, that reminds me of a void scent I once knew. He watched over a beacon fire, seeing to it that it remained ever lit. Unlike that mortal, however, he did it of his own volition. Such an act served no practical purpose in our world. Even if night and day existed, we voids him don't rely upon light, yet he persisted. Though perplexed by his curious ritual, I somehow found myself helping him with it. Rubicante was his name, and he went about his task dutifully. Others mocked him for his meaningless act. But it must have held some manner of meaning to him, so when I chanced to find the beacon gutted out, I made certain to let him know. For time of mind, this routine continued uninterrupted until that fateful day.
I see flames dancing in the distance. Who should I find tending it but a mage of considerable might? With such power, surely you can do more than keep a beacon lit. My flames serve not to smite others, nor to sate my hunger. Then what purpose do they serve? I cannot say for certain, but to simply behold this flame somehow sets my heart at ease. I see, it would seem you lack the power to comprehend the feelings engraved upon your soul. But such a lack is readily rectified. This warmth, invigorating and comforting. Where have I felt it before? Of course, the sun, that which once shone its light upon creation. Though it would set, never did it fail to rise again, and like the sun, my flames must never die. So that is the way of it. Through your flames you sought to recreate the sun's journey, to recreate the world as it was before. Who are you? Who could unearth memories buried in the deepest recesses of my heart? It matters not who I am, but what I seek to do. Join me! Together we shall banish the darkness and see that the sun rises again.
According to the mysterious night, the price to save the world was dear. The inhabitants of the neighboring reality must be sacrificed, to which Rubicante replied, I have sworn to use my power to save the world. If innocent souls must be consumed by my flames, and I shall bear responsibility for the sin. Thus did he choose his path of his own volition, and his spirit lives on in me as an undying flame. A world engulfed in darkness has become the norm for me, but since coming here and basking in the sun, I've been reminded of all that we had lost. I understand Rubicante better now. Understand why he was willing to sacrifice all to restore the world to the way it was, till it was worth the price. Well, I must say it felt great to take a squirm down memory lane. With that, I shall now rejoin the others, of my own volition, of course.
Found the last void set. Time to head back to the Hall of the Radiant Host. Yay!
You did it! You found all of me! I trust I upheld my part of the bargain and told you about more mighty void scent.
You did. I learned about the pasts of Canyazo and Rubicante. But they'll fight no more. I don't want to say that in front of the brother.
So you'd already crossed paths with them. Though the tales may not help you in the battles ahead, I dare say they gave you something to think upon. As mortals, then void scent, then Archfiends. These troubled souls fought with all their being, and now their fight is over. Well, I myself have only heard the tales of the others. If I'm to make their feelings my own, I need to become whole again, which I can do now thanks to you.
So all of them are accounted for. Then by all means, let's have them return to the way they were.
Without further ado then, let me... to me, myselves.
I swear if they start dancing.
Become one big one.
So squishy. At last, we're whole again. There's nothing we need fear. And that which each of us experienced since coming here, it's as if I had experienced it all for myself. I say it again, but this world is truly a fascinating place. I must see more of it. Yes, I must.
I'm not sure what I was expecting, but now that it's whole, I can't help but feel that it is more of a danger. Yet with the undersea portal destroyed, there's no way to return it to whence it came. Whatever should we do now?
Huh? What's this I see? Oh, it's a void scent. There's a few of them in that direction. Four of my brethren made it over, it seems. Curious, though. This is much farther than I can usually perceive. Can only assume my vision has improved. Could this be the cumulative effect of our experiences here?
What? It can sense its kind from a vast distance. Amazing, such an ability would make the task of tracking down invading void scent a breeze. If the creature would agree to assist us in this matter, I'm confident that I can convince my superiors to forge a pact with it.
So it'll live for now.
Oh-ho! If it means I can remain in this world, then I'll gladly agree to that arrangement.
You're gonna sell out your peeps, your folks.
I can't say how much I'm indebted to you, mortal. Working with this fellow here, I'll find a way to communicate with your kind and make myself useful. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, how are you guys gonna communicate? I'm not gonna be here all the time. Look how happy he is, though. They are. Look how happy they are. I got an equestrian role.
With regards to communication, as the creature appears to understand our words, I believe I shall begin by teaching it letters. With some effort, I'm confident we'll be conversing ere long.
I'll be on my best behavior until I forge the pact. It's nothing short of a dream come true to be in this world, and I'll do whatever is required to remain.
I actually finished the quest!
The world aglow with fire and snow. More wars for gold. Look how we never change our ways. Is there hope for tomorrow?